And good afternoon. And it's the Shake Up on CJAM 99.1, redefining radio in Windsor, Detroit. It's just after 4 o'clock. I'm Paul Chislett, and Sheena's in the studio. It's good to have you back.
Yeah, it is good to be back.
And Ken Townsend's here with us too, because we're going to talk about the Canadian Social Forum that's coming up in Windsor next week. And before I forget, and I'll try to remind everybody before the end of the show too, because we wanted to cover the social forum coming up, but next week we're preempted for other programming, so we won't be on the air next Thursday, and that's just about the time the social forum starts. So this month actually is kind of crazy for anybody that's interested in what's going on around the world and trying to make change. So the social forum here in Windsor is happening right after that. I guess, happening at the same time, the U.S. Social Forum kicks off the week after, I think.
Yeah, well, the Canadian Social Forum is the 18th to 20th, and the U.S. Social Forum is the next weekend after that, yeah.
Okay, yeah, and then the G20, of course.
Yeah, which is actually happening during the U.S. Social Forum.
Yeah, so, boy, it's a crazy month, and I guess the exciting thing is that all around us, evidence is mounting of what a for-profit capitalist system does in terms of driving people apart, creating uneven social development around the world, and for people that are interested in trying to come up with alternatives and change, there's a real opportunity right now because, number one, it's obvious to anybody that really wants to look at it that things could be better, and then we have this all these things happening all at once that can galvanize people that are fighting for progressive change to figure out, brings people together, which means more ideas are generated, which means more possibilities for change can come about. So on the one hand, that's great, and on the other hand, it's all happening at the same time. So
get some sleep now.
Get some sleep now. That's good advice. Yeah.
Get rested up.
There ain't going to be no sleep for the next few weeks. So, Ken, I know you're on the organizing committee for the social forum, and I know it's kind of interesting how it all came about. So I was hoping you could fill us in on how it came to be.
Well, back in 2001 in Brazil, which Latin America is a country that's experienced a lot of neoliberalism and the issues with neoliberalism, there was the first World Social Forum, and they've had one, I believe, every year since, and gradually they've been decentralizing World Social Forums. So the U.S. has started picking up and having regional social forums, like there's a Midwest one. There's several across the U.S. that are regional, and then there's the U.S. Social Forum, which is happening at the weekend after our social forum, and I guess that's a little bit more of a national one. But we decided that since Windsor, as a city in Canada that's heavily has a deep relationship with the automotive sector and the issues that go along with that, would be a prime area to hold a social forum specifically for Canada. And actually we have 25 organizations registered right now and that are presenting over the 3 days, but we've had an incredible amount of interest from nonprofit progressive organizations within Windsor. And so I don't know, I guess the person who sparked this off was Dr. Hall at Dr. Alan Hall, actually, at the University of Windsor, who's the head of labor studies. And specifically, right now, the organizers of the social forum are members of Windsor Workers Action Center, but we're certainly open to anybody else who would wish to come and help. Actually, that'd be great.
Always. There's always more to do than there are people to do it in these sort of things.
Yeah, actually, for your listeners, for anyone who's interested, we would really appreciate some volunteers for the event. We have a few extra spots that need filling as far as running registration tents and running around between events and setting up equipment and that sort of thing. But I guess we'll give the website at some point in the show. But if
mention it now, and then we'll mention it again too.
Okay, well, it's www.socialforum.ca, and that's forum.ca, and our email address is change@socialforum.ca, And we're also on Twitter and we're on Facebook.
Oh, cool. So then it's because of the U.S. Social Forum in a way. So there's a whole bunch that have happened around or are happening around in different regions of the United States. Did I hear that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm. The U.S. Social Forum, I believe, the one that's happening in Detroit following ours is more of a national one. And from what I hear, there's they were talking of around 100,000 people attending it, and there's actually some really interesting things going on with that. As far as I believe they have a doctor's office, which is closing for a certain amount of time during the social forum, and actually doing healthcare checks for people attending the social forum, so making medicine accessible.
Yeah, exciting. So, and just as this is a big deal for Windsor, and I love the way it came together. And I remember hearing about it that there was going to be something put on, and I just wasn't able to, get on board it because there was other stuff I was already involved in. But it really came together to the point where there was more people.
Yeah, we
could have ran it for probably a week.
Yeah, we literally cannot keep up with the amount of submissions from organizations, and we actually had our deadline for submission was April 28th, and we've had a few organizations that we've just slipped in lately in the last couple of weeks, just because we're just to cover the whole spectrum of issues that we're talking about.
Let's take a look. The first day is Friday, June 18th, and starts at 9 o'clock. And the first event is pension reform, focusing on the Canadian Labour Congress's pension proposal. And then at 9 to 12:50, confronting climate change, a workshop for community activists, and screening of Poor No More, a documentary exploring causes and real-life solutions to the Canadian experience with poverty, hosted by Mary Walsh. The documentary is. And that's presented by Pathway to Potential, and that's all just before lunch, and all those will be at All Saints Church, which is that's the church right by the City Hall there.
Yeah, it's right next to City Hall.
Yeah.
But we're for most of the days we're booked sometimes 3 presentations thick at the same time, so you literally can't attend all the events.
Which is usually the case with a big conference of any kind. There's things running concurrently, and you have to make those tough choices.
Yeah, you got to pick and choose. We tried to spread it out so that issues were, if you're interested in a certain issue, then you wouldn't have to sacrifice.
Right. Pathway to Potential will have a panel discussion on that Friday. Lillian Gallant is a community advocate with Voices Against Poverty. Brian Massey is the Member of Parliament, of course. Reverend Kevin George of St. Mark's on the Lake. They'll be on the panel discussion moderated by Adam Vassy, who's coordinator for Pathway to Potential. And Windsor-Essex Poverty Reduction Strategy is involved in that as well. So that's on Friday, June 18th. So yeah, it's quite a, climate change to pension reform, poverty, it's something.
Yeah, we have quite a few issues. Everything: education, human rights, human trafficking. Windsor Essex Human Trafficking Action Group is going to be there.
Yeah, that's in the afternoon of the Friday the 18th, according to this schedule.
Is that one? Okay. Yeah. I don't have the schedule in front of me, but we also have the Multicultural Council of Windsor has a group of youth who will be presenting on their experiences trying to find employment and the marginalizations they've faced as new Canadians.
Right.
Actually, we have a couple of youth presentations of people who have actually experienced the issues they're talking about. The other one is Home Away from Home, which is a program that runs, I believe, out in the county as a part of the Youth and Family Resource Network. And
right.
They have a presentation with 8 youth who have experienced homelessness, and we'll be presenting on that topic at the social forum, which will be really interesting. We also have issues like labor. Windsor Workers Action Center will be presenting there. The Labour Studies Student Association, healthcare. The Council of Canadians actually is presenting on neoliberalism and free trade.
Yeah, that's a good.
Which is a big one.
Yeah.
So a lot of this is